The Great Narcissistic Dichotomy. The countless contradictions and the seamless, endless rage that is dealing with the narcissist. How can we really understand this concept? And how can we really visualize what's going on? What are the mechanics? I want you to imagine the mathematical symbol for infinite. Think of a sideways 8. And imagine it like a racetrack. You go up one side, you go down the other side. You go up one side, go down the other side. It's constantly going, never ending. And that really does describe the narcissist's seemingly endless rage that they seem to have inside them. What causes this? What is the reason for this? I think in a narcissist mindset, the immense amount of contradictions that is the narcissistic personality causes this bizarre behavior. On one side, imagine this symbol, you have royalty. And on the other side, you have dependency. Royalty to the left, dependency to the right. The narcissist thinks they're better than other people, and other people owe them their time, their money, their resources, their energy. But yet they think they're above the average human being. They are supreme. They are supernatural. They're prone to magical thinking. But then they realize how dependent they are on the very people they disdain and neglect and abuse. They believe they're entitled to special treatment, and they're entitled to have other people look after them. But the fact that other people are looking after them proves they're human, they're fallible, and they can be weak. This generates narcissistic injury. But yet, even the very fact they have the narcissistic injury and they are raging, some people can become a rageaholic and get high off rage. So even the very fact that they're raging and the people around them are scared, they can feel powerful and they can even get high off the rage. So there's a secondary benefit. But yet, the very fact that they raged means that they have lost control, and that challenges their other belief system that they are perfect. So that creates more rage. But yet, because they think they're superior and they're fundamentally lazy and other people should look after them, the very fact other people are looking after them as they demand, this can create more rage because, wait, they are dependent on these very people to look after them. I needed this person to fix this. I needed that person to fix that. The very fact they're fixing these things that they themselves cannot, wait, that proves they cannot do something. That proves someone else is actually better at something than they are. That's a narcissistic injury. They demand someone fix the computer. But the very fact someone can fix the computer proves they know more. How dare that person show off their skill, even though the narcissist asked them to do that? But of course, raging can be a high for them. So there's a secondary benefit. So do you see how the cycle keeps on going and going and going? The narcissist needs other people for narcissistic supply. They need attention and admiration to suppress that internal judge that constantly judges them. I believe what they do is they can direct that internal judge they have playing in their head at other people. And from what I have seen, it seems to give them temporary relief for a while there. When they verbally abuse other people, it seems to give them relief. But like the other metaphor I've used, imagine someone standing and another person taking garbage bags and throwing garbage bags at that person's general direction. Eventually, that person will be covered in garbage bags. The narcissist, after projecting their self-hatred, their self-loathing at the other person, they have to throw that other person away. That's the discard. But they sometimes will call them up again if they need more narcissistic supply and if their other supply is failing. So you see how it's a never-ending contradiction. If you don't do what the narcissist asks you to do, they hate you for that. But if you're obedient to the narcissist and cooperate with them and do as they ask, at first they might seem happy, but then they realize just how dependent they are on you. They'll start to resent, hate, and then they start to project their self-loathing, their internal hatred onto you. So you lose either way. And yet the narcissist seems virtually incapable of self-understanding. This is the great dichotomy. This is why you really cannot reason with extreme narcissists. And of course, the payoff, getting that rage high and having the ability blaming other people for their problems, while at the same time having so many people look after them to fill their needs. This is probably why a narcissist has such a hard time recovering. Just try to count the contradictions after contradictions after contradictions, and try to work out a consistent linear goal. It's not going to happen. You're just going to get these cycles after cycles after cycles. Contradiction after contradiction after contradiction. Can the narcissist even build or work towards a goal and stick with it without doing their self-destructive behaviors? Like, how often do you see a narcissist self-destruct? If they work towards a goal, but then they have like this need for self-punishment, and they self-destruct, and also they need to tear others down, but yet they hate failures and they hate sickly or weak people because it triggers their fear response. If a person is sickly or disabled, that could reflect onto them because that shows they are mortal. If that person's disabled, they could become disabled. That person is old, they can become old. That challenges their superhuman belief systems. But yet, if they surround themselves with high achievers, motivate people with drive and ambition, they can grow envious. They think they deserve to hang around champions. But guess what? Champions are sometimes better than they are. This creates envy. This creates hatred. But so does disabled people, because disabled people are not living up to their standards, so they hate them too. So again, if you're great, they hate you. If you're not great, they hate you. If you're a failure, they hate you. If you're a winner, they hate you. If you're young, beautiful, they hate you because you're better looking than they are. But yet if you're old, they hate you because they know they will age too. And you standing there reminds them of that. They'll hate you for that. If you make more money than they do, if you work harder than they do, they'll grow envious and hate that. But if you're suffering from hard economic times, they realize you can't lend them money because you don't have that much money. And that could happen to them. They'll hate you for reminding them of that. They'll hate you for the very things you cannot control. But they will also hate you for the things you can control because they're envious because you're making something of your life. And they hate that. But if you're not making something good out of your life, then how can they get resources out of you? So then you're not doing your job and they hate you. But if you're a really, really good codependent and you're very attentive and listen to them constantly, they'll resent the fact that they're totally dependent on you. But if you're not a good dependent and you're actually enjoying life without them, they'll hate you for that because how dare you be independent from them? Remember, narcissists see people as cardboard cutouts. They're not supposed to have their own will or their own desires or their own ambitions outside the desires and opinions of the narcissist. So anyone living their own life outside the control of a narcissist, how dare they? But if the same people ask the narcissist for help after many times they have helped the narcissist will usually run away or walk away really, really fast. I mean, how dare they ask the narcissist for help? The very fact they're asking the narcissist for help means they're stupid. But the narcissist can ask them for help constantly. Every single day, they can constantly be asking someone else for help. But when the same person asks the narcissist for help, they are stupid and retarded and lazy. Do you dress well? Do you have nice clothing? The narcissist will very often demand from their spouses that they dress well, but then berate them, saying they look like a prostitute, or they have too much makeup, or they're wearing too expensive clothing. But if they don't do those things, they'll say they look like a tramp. But if they look like a tramp, they need to dress well. But if they dress well, they look like a prostitute. But if they don't dress well, they look like a tramp. So either way, you lose. If you ask for clarification, exactly how to dress, exactly how much makeup to wear, well, the standards constantly change. So even if you do get it right, it's going to change minutes or seconds later. Do you work out? Are you in shape? Then you spend too much time in the gym and you're vain. But if you stop going to the gym and start to look normal, well, you're getting kind of pudgy and fat. You need to fix that. It's wrong to be pudgy and fat or even just normal. You need to get back in the gym. But no, you're getting too muscular again. You need to stop that. Okay, well, what's the healthy range? Can the narcissist define perfect? No. Standards keep changing. Even if you work towards the ideal goal, they'll just change it. So, too fat, too muscular, too thin, too fat, too muscular, too thin. The standards keep on changing. You can't please them. They keep changing the standards. Why bother? Do you study hard? Are you smart? Then you think too highly of yourself. And you need to bring yourself down. However, if you're not smart, it's wrong to be an idiot and a retard. Okay, then should you be average? Well, average is not good enough. You need to be better than average. But if you become better than average, well, they become envious and they hate that. So how dare you insult them by studying hard? Well, if you don't study, you're being an idiot. But if you do study, you're trying to make them look bad. So either way, you lose. Do you have a family with a narcissist? The narcissist wants you to stay home and look after the kids. But they also want you to get a job. They want you to get a job so you can actually earn some income. But then they want you to spend more time in the house, but they want you to go outside and get a job. But no, you need to spend more time in the house. But no, you need to get a job and get some outside experience. No, you have to stay in the house. No, you need to get a job. No, you need to stay in the house more. No, you need to get a job. No, you need to spend more time with the family and do more housework. Well, why are you doing so much housework? You're spending way too much time in the house. You need to spend more time at work making more money. Well, we have enough money. You need to spend more time looking after the house. The contradiction never ends. Just try asking them, what's the ideal amount of time to spend in the house and how much time to spend at work? And try to hold them to these standards. The standards will keep on changing. There is no right answer. If there was a right answer, you could end the chaos and the fighting. But of course, they keep on moving the goalposts. They keep changing the standards. So they can keep on contradicting themselves and blaming other people and thus getting their rage highs and thus being able to gain pity when those around them fail them. Because, of course, if you set something up so other people can fail, you can make yourself out to be the victim, and thus gaining narcissistic supply. Ah, yes, narcissistic logic. You know what the problem is with that there? You did things a little too perfectly.